Hello and welcome to our Hogan Lovel's video tutorials on digital transformation and law. My name is Christelle Coslin. I'm an attorney and partner in our Paris office. This video is the first of our new series which will discuss and follow the development of the Digital Fairness Act. The Digital Fairness Act, which will become known as DFA, is a future piece of EU legislation that the European Commission is currently preparing in order to adapt EU consumer rules to new online practices. Today, we're going to discuss the background behind this new EU legislative initiative. In particular, the European Commission started working on this topic in the last quarter of 2024, following some key findings on consumer law protection in the European Union. Last October, the European Commission issued a report looking at whether the current consumer protection rules in the EU are still adequate in the face of technological developments and evolving digital behavior. In this report, the Commission concluded that the current legal framework was insufficient to address certain practices that are becoming increasingly common and putting EU consumers at risk. Such practices include, for example, dark patterns, i.e., interface designs intentionally crafted to mislead consumers into making decisions they wouldn't otherwise make. It corresponds to practices like pushing consumers to sign up for services or agree to terms they don't fully understand. Another example is addictive design features that prompt users to engage with services in unhealthy ways, such as gambling-like mechanics in video games. And these may encourage excessive use. To take another example, personalized advertising techniques that take advantage of consumer vulnerabilities to maximize profit may also constitute dark patterns. Finally, complex subscription cancellations that make it unnecessarily difficult for consumers to cancel digital subscriptions or unsubscribe from services are also in target. And in the end, we can also mention the commercial practices of social media influencers, especially when their promotions aren't transparent or adequately regulated. According to the European Commission, currently, these issues are primarily governed by directives such as the Unfair Commercial Practices Directive, UCPD, and the Consumer Rights Directive, CRD. This provides for a fragmented set of rules which the Digital Fairness Act will likely aim to harmonize. Some member states have already attempted to tackle these issues through national laws, but they have faced opposition from the European Commission. For instance, when France adopted a law regulating online influencers, the European Commission raised concerns about how the law conflicted with EU-wide regulations such as the Digital Services Act, also known as the DSA, and the E-commerce Directive. This has led to increased pressure on EU institutions to fill these gaps with harmonized EU law. What does this all mean for businesses? Well, the Digital Fairness Act promises to be an ambitious piece of legislation, and it is expected to add another layer to an already complex landscape. This initiative comes at a critical time as member states are putting a lot of pressure on the EU institutions to adopt strict rules to protect EU consumers, including minors. Accordingly, the Digital Fairness Act is shaping up to be a significant development in the EU's regulatory framework. It will affect how businesses handle consumer rights online, how they design their platforms, and how they interact with users. Monitoring these developments is key, and it will allow you to ensure your business stays compliant. Stay tuned for further episodes, during which we will inform you as this initiative develops and also about its anticipated interactions with existing regulation. We'll also be discussing the impacts on other regulations already in place. Thank you.